fourth grade friends, Mrs. Nelson, and I'm here to talk about looking at denominators and numerators. So when you are looking at a number and you are trying to figure out what kind of number that you have a piece, and then you have a numerator. So you have a numerator and you have a denominator, a top number and a bottom number. And when you're making fractions, you have to have equal shares. So whenever you are sharing, that means your numerator, your bottom number, changes. So my numerator here, because I'm sharing with two people, became 2. And then I have a blue piece. So I have one of those two pieces. Okay, so this means how many people are you sharing with? So those are your shares. Okay, or how many people show up at your party. And this is your piece. This is my piece. I get one piece out of whatever I happen to be making here. So this number can change down here. That numerator, that can change. That one doesn't always stay the same. So this can be any number. I'm going to just leave it as a blank because I want you to really think about my denominator, meaning how many people I invite to my party, will change what my piece does. So watch my piece. So if I have just myself, I have the whole piece. Okay, my piece is the whole thing. It's all blue. Then say I need to share with my husband because, you do that. My piece, my blue piece becomes, well, smaller. And then a son, one of my sons, Malachi, shows up. Well, my piece keeps getting smaller. And then Eli shows up. And then somebody else. And somebody else. And so, look at, now I'm up to sharing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 friends. And I still have one piece. But now I had to share it with 7 friends. Okay? Let's take a look at it a little different. So let's look at my fraction like this, my whole pizza. Then I share it with my husband, my piece gets smaller. And I keep inviting friends. Look at my blue piece. What is happening to my blue piece? Look at the size of my blue piece. Okay, so every time my denominator, the number on the bottom, I will always have 1. Okay? But my denominator, as it gets bigger, as my denominator gets bigger, my piece gets smaller. So bottom number, when the bottom number gets bigger, my piece gets smaller. Okay? So the more friends you invite, the smaller your piece is. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 people at this party and I still have one piece. Now, if you were to look at this and look at it very closely, well, that's going to look a lot different than if I only had my whole fraction, if it was just me. Okay, you see, look at my piece gets smaller and smaller the more friends I get. See how many friends I get? Look, oh, here's even more friends. Look how tiny my piece is now. Okay, that's what happens. So when you have numerators that match on top, if your numerators at the top match, okay, then look at the denominator and think, how many people did I invite to my party? Because my denominator will tell you how big my piece is. Okay, so if I have 2 fractions, say I have 3 and 3, but this person has 4 people in this party, and this one has 9, well, you look at the person who has less people at their party because their pieces are going to be bigger. So this is the bigger fraction. Okay, so remember, at a party or at looking at fractions, if the numerators are the same numerator, look at the bottom number because that's how it tells you how big your piece is. So the smaller, the less people you have, the more you have. The more people, the less you have. So let's make sure we look at that really closely. Okay? So if my numerators are the same, I just ignore them and I look at the bottom numbers. Okay? Because each person has 6 pieces, but how big are their pieces? So then I look at how many people, how many friends did they share with? This person right here had only 7 people. His 6 pieces are bigger. So he is going to have the bigger fraction. Okay? So if I have 9 and I invite 12 people, and this person has 9 and they have 6 people, well, this fraction right here is bigger because he shared with less people. Each person had 9 pieces. Yes, that's true. But your fraction for 6, your pieces are bigger. All right. If you have questions, concerns, let me know. Best of luck on this assignment.